Hai, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Rizauddin bin Rizano, 11 DKA 19F 1101.
Hello guys, my name is Muhammad Muhammad Sufi and my number matric is 11 DKA 19F1083.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azari bin Mashuri. I'm from DKA 3A. My card matrix number is 11 DKA 19F1068.
Hello, I want to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Daniel Isbin Muhammad Sukri. I'm from DKA 3A and my matrix number is 11 DKA 19F1086.
Sewage treatment is the process of removing contaminants from wastewater and household sewage, both in floods and domestic. It includes physical, chemical and biological processes to remove physical, chemical and biological contaminants. Its objective is to produce an environmentally safe fluid water stream and a solid waste suitable for disposal or reuse. And besides of sewage treatment is to produce a disposable effluent without causing harm to surrounding environment and prevent pollution.
Okay, I want to talk about primary therapy. What is primary therapy? Primary therapy is the things that eliminates material that either float or gravity settles out readily. This involves screening, comminution, grit removal, and sedimentation physical processes. First, the sewage go to primary treatment. Screens are made of long, closely spaced, narrow metal bars. They block floating debris such as wood, rags and other bulky objects that could clog pipes or pump. A comminutor may be used to grind and shred debris that pass through the screens. The shredded material is removed later by sedimentation or flotation process. Grit chambers are long narrow tanks that are designed to slow down the flow so that solids such as sand, coffee grounds and eggshells will settle out of the water. Next, let's move to secondary treatment. A sedimentation tank to remove excess bacteria. An active sludge process will also be used to eliminate the bacteria by bringing the bacteria into close contact with air and sludge. After the sewage leaves the sedimentation tank, it is pushed into an aeration tank. Here the sewage is mixed with air and sludge and will remain in place for at least a few hours. The bacteria will break down the organic matter that is harmless. Next, the sewage will move into another sedimentation tank where bacteria will be eliminated entirely. The secondary treatment often concludes with effluent from this tank being disinfected with chlorine before it is discharged. Okay, next is preliminary treatment. What is preliminary treatment? This process is the aim of preliminary treatment is to eliminate coarse, solid and other large material commonly contained in raw wastewater. The influent pumping is where wastewater from the city collection system influent enters the processing plant and is pumped to the beginning of the treatment process. Multiple pumps such as this one still created were installed at the influent pump station. Screening is the first unit operation used at wastewater treatment plants. Screening removes objects such as rags, paper, plastics, and metals to prevent damage and clogging of downstream equipment and piping. Shredders are used to reduce the particle size of wastewater solid. The terms sewage grinder and shredder are two terms for a cutting device for sewage solid. Grit removal is often found in the headworks of wastewater treatment plant. Grit removal can also be used to remove sand from river water intakes prior to processing for potable water, used in industrial application to remove fine abrasive, as well as being used to remove grit entrained in sludge. Flow measurement, it is a liquid or gas, is commonly a critical parameter in many processes. In most operations, it is important to know that the right fluid is at the right place at the right time. Some critical applications require the ability to conduct accurate flow measurement to ensure product quality. Pre-aeration of wastewater to obtain a greater removal of suspended solids in sedimentation tank. To assist in the removal of grease and oil carried in the wastewater. To fresh up septic wastewater prior to further treatment. Chemical addition. Several chemicals are added to the water through the different process to facilitate water treatment. Flow equalization is the process of controlling hydraulic velocity or flow rate through a wastewater treatment system. The equalization of flow prevents short-term, high volume of incoming flow, called surge, from forcing solids and organic material out of the treatment process.
Okay, today I'm gonna explain about secondary treatment. Secondary treatment is a treatment process for wastewater or sewage to achieve a certain degree of effluent quality by using a sewage treatment plant with physical phase separation to remove soluble solids and a biological process to remove dissolved and suspended organic compounds. The secondary treatment removes about 85% of the organic matter in sewage by making use of the bacteria in it. Okay, then the principal secondary treatment technique used in secondary treatment are the trickling filter and the activated sludge process. The EPA regulation describes stabilization ponds as providing treatment equivalent to secondary treatment, removing 65% of the BOD and suspended solid from incoming sewage and discharging approximately 50% higher effluent concentration than modern bioreactors. The regulation also recognize the difficulty of meeting the specified removal percentage from combined sewers, dilute industrial wastewater or infiltration or inflow. Where natural waterways are too small to rapidly oxidize primary treated sewage, the liquid may be used to irrigate sewage formed until suburban property values encourage secondary treatment methods requiring less acreage. Glacial sand deposit allow some northeastern United States cities to use intermediate sand filtration until more complex secondary treatment bioactors become available. And biological nutrient removal is regarded by some sanitary engineers as secondary treatment and by the others as tertiary treatment. The differentiation may also differ from one country to another. Okay, the trend today is toward the use of the activated sludge process instead of the trickling filters. The activated sludge process speeds up the work of the bacteria by bringing air and sludge heavily laden with bacteria into close contact with sewage. After the sewage leaves the settling tank in the primary stage, it is pumped into an aeration tank, where it is mixed with air and sludge loaded with bacteria and allowed to remain for several hours. During this time, the bacteria break down the organic matter into harmless byproducts. The sludge, now activated with additional billions of bacteria and other tiny organisms, can be used again by returning it to the aeration tank for mixing with air and new sewage. From the aeration tank, the partially treated sewage flows to another sedimentation tank for removal of excess bacteria. To complete secondary treatment, effluent from the sedimentation tank is usually disinfected with chlorine before being discharged into receiving waters. Chlorine is fed into water to kill pathogenic bacteria and to reduce odor. Done properly, chlorination will kill more than 99% of the harmful bacteria in an effluent. Some municipalities now manufacture chlorine solution on site to avoid transporting and storing large amount of chlorine, sometimes in a gaseous form. Many states now require from the removal of excess chlorine before discharge to surface waters by a process called dechlorination.
Sludge are categorized by 4 categories, which is pre-treatment sludge, primary sludge, secondary sludge, and tertiary sludge. I will talk about sludge treatment and disposal methods. I will start with the 5 sludge treatment process. Number 1. Sludge thickening. The purpose of this process is to increase solid content of sludge by removing a portion of the liquid fraction. Thickening is generally accomplished by physical means including co-settling, gravity settling, flotation, centrifugation, gravity belt, and rotary drum. Secondly, digestion. The process is called anaerobic digestion. This process will increase organic matter conversion, improve biogas production, influence over dewaterability, pathogen indicators, and inorganic compounds concentration in digestive. Next, land application. So this is basically how the land application look like. The other sludge treatment is incineration. The incineration of sludge waste derived from wastewater use thermal treatment to oxidize organic matter contained in the sludge. Incineration is carried out in a furnace using oxygen and high temperatures, over 850 degrees Celsius. Here are some of the benefits. Pathogens are totally destroyed. Sludge waste is totally mineralized. Recyclable mineral byproducts, heat production, no odor, and low maintenance costs. Last but not least, dewatering. Dewatering is important process because dewatering reduces the volume of sludge so that it is easy to carry the sludge and can reduce the transport costs. Sewage sludge contains both compounds of agricultural value and pollutants, so it is have to be disposed in the safe and legal way. There are various methods to dispose the sludge, such as ocean disposal. Ocean disposal is dumping or controlled release of sewage sludge from a barge or other vessel into marine water. Besides that, distribution and marketing. The giveaway, transfer, or sale of sewage sludge or sewage sludge product in either bag or bulk form. Next, surface disposal. Surface disposal is a controlled area of land where only sewage sludge is placed for a period of 1 year or longer. Sludge placed in this area is not provided with daily or final cover. Next, lagoons. Lagoons can be used for sludge disposal in remote locations. The excess liquid from the lagoon is returned back to WW treatment plant. Lastly, landfills or land application. These methods are most commonly used. Landfills are used for disposing sludge, grease, grit, and other solids. The waste are deposited in design area, compacted with a tractor or roller, and covered with a 30 cm layer of clean solid or composted sludge to minimize odor and prevent attracting flies, rodent, etc. Problem with this method is that many landfills are filling up and towns are having trouble finding places to put new one.
If you are using a septic system, it is important to maintain it properly as a failure to do so could result in the leakage of pollutant into the soil or water source. Second, appropriate wastewater treatment and water management practices will have to be followed to allow the use of untreated domestic wastewater. Third, hence proper measures shall be motorized to ensure that the treatment process do not result in soil pollution.